Okay, Mister, we are live with round 5 of our Gr3 Cup. We are at Brands Edge today and we will be doing 30 laps of this race, this track. We will start the qualifying soon after our out lap. But Mister, what do you think about this track and this race today?
So this track, the quali will be very important because as we know, this track is very narrow at a lot of places and we don't have a lot of curb to play with while overtaking or attacking. So defending is very less tricky compared to other tracks. So what the two things will be the most important here are going to be the qualifying and the racecraft. So let's proceed with the outlap and then we can explain the track to all our viewers.
Yes,
So they all can see the interesting track we have for our round 5 brand Satch in Super Wild Group 3 Club.
yes. Let me do that quickly. But before that, I will just share the YouTube stream link with our viewers so they can also join in and drop their questions or their views and opinions. And for all those joining us today, do feel to share your opinion. And let me start with the race. Let me start with the outlap so that Mr. can give you an idea of what kind of circuit or what kind of track we are looking at today.
Okay, so the exit of the pit is right at the apex of turn 1. So you need to be very careful if there is any car exiting the pit. So as we go for turn 2, you need to brake under the bridge. Then as you rotate on, it is a very slow corner. You need to be on the gears first or second and then accelerate through the corner. It's a downhill, so the traction is not too big enough issue. Then you slam on the brakes, but you release it and then you coast to the corners and then you go for the turn 4. It's a long sweeping corner, so you need to hold and then throttle through all the way because you need to have a very good exit through it to get a really nice drive all the way to turn 5. Here we come through our first overtaking opportunity. There is a banking on the inside, so defending here is a possibility. So you need to be very committed if you want to attack here. Then you ride the curb on the turn 6 and then we go to a very blind turn 7. So this is a very difficult corner. You need to be very committed, very aggressive and ride the curbs. Then here too, you need to hit the apex early and then accelerate out. Then as you move towards the final corner, you need to brake early and touch the apex early and accelerate all the way and go to the outside of the corner and hit the throttle. Then you come to the finish line. And then you need to brake early, and this is a very precarious corner because you think you have the grip, but as the car goes downhill, you lose all the front end. So you need to be careful here and take the turn 1 very carefully.
Yes.
So this is a small lap with around 85 seconds per lap. The delta, I don't believe it would be too much between mediums and hards. So this is going to be a really interesting race because it all falls down to the racecrafts, the pit strategy, and how you play with the minds of your opponent.
Absolutely. And we do have a high tire wear today, so we'll be running 6 packs again for tire and the fuel wear, and also we have racing hearts as compulsory. So there are very few turns over here where there could be some overtakes, but one has to be really careful because then it is really easy to spin also, as you noticed during our lap. It's very tricky, but it could be a really exciting race that we are heading for today. So while we have all our racers joining in and we are still waiting for a few of our racers and we will proceed with our qualifying as soon as possible. Do feel free to drop in your questions or if you have any comments, and if you want any of your favorite driver today to check out their livery. So you can also let us know in the comments, and we can definitely take a look at their liveries. But
So
what?
unlike last year, yeah, you continue.
So what kind of times are we looking at today, Mister? What would be a good qualifying time? Do you think?
So in Gran Turismo, we don't have weather feature for this particular track, so it will be a bone dry race. So I expect 123s or maybe 124 flat for the qualifying. And as for race pace, the fastest lap might still be 124 or maybe even the 123s, but the average pace should be close to 1 minute 25 for most of the drivers.
Yeah, we see Mr. Mako getting a small penalty here, but I guess he currently Sammy has set up 125. But yeah, as you said, we could see maybe 123s during the qualifying as well. So let's see what he does,
Yeah.
and yeah, he goes 126. But yeah, maybe it's on the tires. I do not have the telemetry with me right now, but I guess the tires
Yeah.
will play a definitely big part.
So this is a very interesting turn from our last race. Last race was very much about matching your timing with the weather and your skills in driving in the rain. And as we know, Nürburgring is a lot more technical track compared to Brands Hatch. So that last race was very much about race skills and matching your pits with the weather. But this is more about playing with your opponents and having a good racecraft, know when to undercut, know when to overcut, know when to see you want to save fuel or you want to push. Maybe someone can again pull off a one stop. Maybe Pagal Raja would again go for a one stop, or a two stop is also a very good possibility here,
Yeah,
which most of the drivers would be doing.
absolutely. But then let's see how it goes, because we also have a high fuel wear, so 30 laps, and they do need to go on hard sometimes. So high wear and high fuel rate. So let's see what the drivers start
Yeah,
on
the
which
fuel
track.
rate is very high, but as we know, the Lexus is very good in managing the fuel. Like it doesn't lose too much space even while fuel saving. So it would be a really interesting race to see which strategy is going to be the king of the hill.
Yeah. So we still have our participants joining in. We are waiting for Ganesh, and I don't know if Pagal Rajajunia will be able to join us before the quali, because we will maybe add him after the quali. And probably same for Ganesh if he's not able, if he's still facing any issues. So maybe we could go through some liveries. Uh, Here we are on Sammy, and let us stay on Sammy for a while till I can sort out the lobby issues for the guys.
So guys, as we can already see, the lap times are dipping into the 124s. So we can expect a really competitive qualifying here, because qualifying is going to be the most important for this race. Overtaking is not going to be easy for anyone here.
Yeah, and we have Adit with commenting. Can't wait for this race. Absolutely, Adit. Okay, in 1 minute we start the qualifying. I guess we still have a few minutes after the quali, so we can let the guys join after the quali. And viewers, let us know if you have any issues with the voice or anything, so we could also adjust if required. Dukyatma running P3 right now. Mako is currently P4. Mako as again replacing you, Mister. So we have Enchanted Man. Ganesh is sorting out the issues with his lobby. We have Ninchan here. Ganesh has joined again. So we have Hurry Effect will be replacing Modiki Guarantee in this Audi. Brazilian Sam. In every teammate is yet to join, so we are still not sure if he's going to make it. we have 10 Lord who is supposed to be here, but I cannot see him. Ancient Pleb, and
He's
then
at
Manu.
turn 5.
Ah, okay. Somehow it wasn't captured previously, but yeah. Okay, so we have 13 races. We still have. Okay, Ganesh is still sorting out, and I guess we should start qualifying. I will just make an announcement for all our participants that we are going to start qualifying.
So for any of you joining us here right now, we are starting the qualifying of round 5 of Super Wild Group 3 Cup on brand sets.
Yep, and we are go.
So Vedu, would you like to explain why we are missing 2 drivers right now to our viewers?
So yes, we have Ganesh, who is part of the Mavericks. His colleague Uncharted Man is racing today here with us, but he is facing some issues, and we will try to add him after the qualifying, hopefully. And the other person is Pagal Raja Jr. If you remember, he was having stellar of a race last time at Nürburgring, and he is running late, and unfortunately he was not able to find a reserve driver today. So we wait till the qualifying is over. If they join us, then it's good. Otherwise, we may have a few less drivers today for this race, unfortunately. But but we cannot just wait for them because the race
Yeah.
has to continue.
So let's stick with one of the driver and see the out lap and the flying lap, and let's see what sort of time we'll be seeing on the board.
Yeah, I was thinking of staying with Askas for a while because I just love this car. It looks so beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's the official Acodis RCF Lexus livery that they are using in the World Endurance Championship, is it not?
Yeah, I am not sure about this. So we see all of them lining up now, and I guess okay, there's some traffic over there, but Askas is starting his flying lap now. So let's see what time he sets. Yes, that is clean to T1 and coming up to this heartbreaking corner over here. Mister, do you want to walk us through the track, through the lap?
Yeah, sure. So as we can see in turn 2, you need to be very slow and steady through the corner, then brake at the curves for turn 3 and bite the corner and exit at. You need to be very attacking towards the exit curve there. Then you coast through turn 4, steady, and then you go. And as you can see, this is the longest straight of the track, so you need to have a really good exit to gain as much time as you can throughout the straight. Then you brake after the one board, and then you carry as much speed as you can. Stay on the inside on the banking to maximize the traction, and then attack the curbs for the next turn. Then you take it all the way towards the next curve, and then you again attack the curbs. Then for the last sector, you need to be very early on the apex and go all the way towards the next corner. So you need to again maximize your exit speed rather than entering the corner fast. And then you need to sweep the corner and then accelerate fast again, because these are the only 3 straights you have got on this track.
Yeah, and he goes P3, but what a time from Plab. He's about 1 second. He was about 1 second ahead of Askas, and he has done a 1:23.9.
So you already see a sub 24 time, and I expect Pleb to improve more upon it, because as he drive more, the car will get lighter and lighter. and the soft shows so much more grip on a lighter car. You'll have more acceleration, more braking, and much better turning.
Yeah, and Mako goes slightly wide there, but the Nissan, he is still 0.3 second down on around zero point 0.4 of a second down on Pleb. Does it come to the car, or maybe Mako made a mistake, or just ancient Pleb is back in his form today?
Uh, the balance of performance is very competitive in this game. So more than the difference in the car, it comes to the difference between the driving styles, or more often than not, there is some part played by skills and practice. You don't know the perfect driving line when the first time you drive on this track, and there are a lot of things you need to practice, learn. You need to grow into the track. So you learn a lot of things the more you drive. So I think, see, Makov is already 2 tenths up on his lap time. So I expect everyone to improve over of this qualifying.
Yeah, and he did have a penalty there, but I guess we
Yeah, that
could
was unfortunate to see.
we could also see focus on Duki Atman, see how his push lap goes because he's starting his lap now. A good exit through the turn one over there, heading on to turn two, which is a hard braking point. This looks like a good exit.
And then he's already getting the dirty air from Ningen.
Yeah,
So this is going to be disastrous for his lap if he cannot make the pass at turn 5.
Ninja stays
So
out.
Ningen is letting Duki pass.
Yeah.
So that's good show of sportsmanship, since I think he wasn't on his flying lap.
Look at that sector time. Sector 1 and 2, he's about 4.4 of a second ahead of both of these guys. So that was a good purple sector for him. Let's see what happens at this turn 5. And yes, he's still in purple. Maybe lost some time
So
there.
he's still maintaining his lead.
So turn 8, that was pretty clean. Coming up to on turn 9, where he needs to cut this corner.
Oh no, he
Because
missed it. He had to take the right wheels into the grass on the inside.
yeah, but still a purple sector, Mister. He was still zero point 0.3 seconds ahead.
Yeah, so this track has a lot of time in it still.
Yeah, absolutely. And he goes wide, and
And
he
he
goes
goes
wide,
wide. He
and
messes
he
up his
spins,
lap.
and he
Oh
spun.
no.
We still have 4 minutes, so that means he still needs to come back to the pits, change his tires, and maybe give another try. Because I think he still has the time for another lap
He
around.
has the time, but he will encounter traffic on the road. So
Yeah.
that might be disastrous for him.
Let's see where Danlord ends up. He is 125, 126. Okay, he's 2 seconds down. Manu is P10. Then
So
we,
we see Pleb doing another purple time. He's going faster than his already fastest time.
yeah, he's about 2 seconds. Okay, and he goes wide over here. Oh, and
And
he
he goes
crashes.
wide.
Probably
So
he
he
has.
still has time to get back into the pits, change the tires, and do another out lap followed by the last push lap.
Yeah, absolutely. Blab seems to be pretty comfortable over here. He's in good sectors, and that NSX also seems to be really fast. So he seems to be really comfortable. So would be one to watch out for in today's race. Uh,
Yeah, the slow speed rotation of NSX is something to for here. So Makov also goes into the pits.
Yeah, and letting hurry effect pass by. He's replacing Macular Caesar, as we know. Uh, let's just focus on some of our other drivers right now. Askas is also setting a pretty good time. He is zero point 0.6 seconds below Pleb, but and what is his sector? And okay, he goes purple too. So everyone is now setting purple sectors. What are we seeing? I guess we
Yeah,
are.
exactly. As the car becomes lighter, you go more and more faster on the soft tires.
Yeah.
So
So
that's why the soft tires are really good for qualifying, but they die really soon in race.
yeah. And for the race, what would you choose as a tire for the race, mister? Because we know there's high wear. So would you start soft or would you go mediums?
So I had three ideas for the race. So if Pagardas is able to join us for the race, we can have a one stop, which we can see him doing one stop with both stints on hards. Alternatively, we can have a hards plus two medium stint, which I believe could be the fastest strategy for this race. And lastly, we have a hard, medium, and soft stint, which can give you the fastest lap for the race. But I don't believe it will be faster than the hard, medium stint.
But mister, just to interrupt you, look at the time set by Ascas. He's thousand and eight of second away from ancient pleb. So he is faster than Mako right now.
The RCF looks pretty comfortable here.
Yeah. Mako is exiting the pits now. Okay, he's starting his lap now.
So this is definitely going to be his last flying lap. So let's see if he can improve on his lap or not.
Yeah, let's see what sector time he is at. So here the sector one is, yes, it's purple.
But he is behind Ningen, so I don't know if the dirtier is going to hinder him or he is going. Oh, Ningen goes wide.
Goes wide, yeah. 0.3
So
of a
he's
second.
almost 4 times up on his time, which is even better than Pleb.
Yes, I guess this will be very
Pleb
close.
is not even 3 tenths ahead of him. And he lost the time on the straight.
Yeah, this sector 2, this is quite tricky because you need to get a good exit from that turn 4. Because if you miss that exit, if you don't have a proper exit, then on that straight you just lose a lot of time over there. But still,
Yeah, as we all know, Brands Hatch is all about exit.
yeah. And Chartered Man goes P4. Mako is still purple. Let's see if he can take that P1. Coming on to the final corner now.
And this is the run to the finish. And he goes P1.
By
And
0.6 of a second.
Such a big margin, 6 tenths.
Yes, that was a stellar of a lap. Absolutely, absolutely. So that ends the qualifying for him. We have Askas in P3 and Chartered Man P4. Inavri is in P5. Duki Atma goes P2. Where did the lap come from? So he is half a second.
So he
behind.
had a rather clean lap. That was very lucky for him. As the qualifying goes on, the grid spreads and spreads. So it is more likely for you to encounter more traffic as the qualifying goes on.
Yeah. So I guess all the drivers have set their times, and we can proceed soon with the race. Everyone, okay. Inchan and Anu, Brazilian Sam, he is 11th, and we have Time Lord at 12. So yes, I guess we are nearly done with the qualifying. We will just try to add back Ganesh, and then we can start with the race.
So is Pagar Raza joining us for the race?
Unfortunately, the last update that I had from him was he is not able to join. So yes, we will be down to 13 drivers today. But then this is the format that helps us in this current event, because only 5 of the races will be counted from the 7. He will.
But still, this is going to be a big hurdle for him because he is an opportunity to score points. And essentially, this series is going to become best 5 out of 6 for him.
Yeah, that is true. Meaning that does help Duki Atma, because we know that they are quite matching in terms of points. So yeah, it's a big gamble, but let's see how the race turns out to be. Mako the God, says Harshit. Duki for win, says the Weekend Racing. Okay, let's see. We are as excited as you are, guys. So let's see. I will just try to add Ganesh back in the race, and let's just go through the results again so that I can set up the grid accordingly.
Okay, so P1 is Mako with a 123.3, which is a very fast and competitive lap around Brands Hatch. Second, we have Dukhi Atma in the same car GTR Nismo as Mako with a 123.75. Then we have Pleb. He didn't improve on his first flying lap. He stuck to 123.942. Then we have Askas in RCF GT3 in 123.95. These are the four drivers that did a sub 24 time. Now we have Ench in RS1 GT3 in doing a 124.3. Then we have in Avery doing a 124.58 in GTR Nismo, followed by the Hurry Effect in 7th place, who is replacing Bodhi Guarantee for this race, and R8 LMS Evo 124.76, followed by Sammy in GTR Nismo doing a 125.09,
Yeah.
followed by Ningen in 9th place on the Mercedes AMG GT3 doing a 125.45, followed by Manu in R8 LMS Evo doing a 125.58. In 11th place, we have Brazilian San on Mercedes AMG GT3 doing a 125.7. And at the back of the qualifying grid, we have Dan Lord doing a 126 flat on 650S GT3.
Yeah. So
Ganesh would be joining us and he will be added at the back of the grid at P13. Do we have any grid penalties for this race, or this is going to be the final race?
we do
Final
not
grid, I mean.
we do not have any grid penalties today. So we will just add Ganesh to the lobby, and then we will start the race. I do need to change some settings over here, so all the participants will be set by host.
Welcome everyone joining us today. So we are about to start with the race of round 5 in Super Wild Group 3 Cup on Brands Hatch. 30 laps around this track, racing arts compulsory, and 6 times tire wear and fuel wear.
Yes.
We'll be starting with the race in a couple of minutes, so stay with us.
Yes, we had to sort out the issues some drivers were facing today when joining the lobby. I hope that is sorted out, and we will just rearrange the grid as per their qualifying, and we should be good to go. So just give us a couple of minutes, and till then, stay tuned. Okay, so we have Mako starting first, then we have Duki Atma. My bat is on engine. Yes, we are looking forward to that as well. So we have Mako starting P1, Duki Atma yet to join us. We have Ancient Lab starting P3. Then we have Eskaz at P4. Let's just see if Duki Atma, if everyone is joined, that would help us set us the lobby. We are still waiting for Duki Atma. Okay, he is here, but he will be joining soon. Till then, we can just starting grid. Okay, Mako. Then we have Ancient Flap. We have Askas. Then we have Enchanted Man. Then we have Inevry, who will be starting P6 today after Enchanted Man. We have Hurry Effect. Then we have Sammy. Sammy is yet to join us. So, and
Sammy is already on the grid at P11.
yeah,
We can move him up.
yeah, I will update him. Like I just need to set this guys first, and then I can take a look at the new guys who have joined. So we have Ninja, we would be starting P9. Yes, I will update him. Then we have Manu, who will be starting behind Ninchan, and then we have Brazilian San, uh, Dan, and then Ganesh. And let's see if everyone else has joined as well. Yes, Tokiatma, so we can add them as well. So Mako, Ancient Lab, then we should have Duki Atma.
After Mako, we have Duki at P2.
Yes, Duki Atma starts P2 on the front row. Ancient Lab, Askas, Enchanted Man in every starting P6. Hurry Effect at P7. Sammy, I hope he's there, yes. Sammy starting P8. Then we have Ninjan starting P9. After which we have Manu, then Brazilian Sam, then Lord, and Ganesh. Ganesh will be starting late last today, unfortunately, because he missed the qualifying. Our grid is set. I will just let our participants know that we are starting soon, and
So here we are starting with our race.
yes, we are starting soon. We hope everyone is ready. If they have to decide on their strategies, then this is a good time. Everyone seems to be comfortable on their tires. Some races starting hard, some on mediums, but yes, a mix of strategies. So, Mr. Let us start. What do you think?
So I think most of the guys will be doing the top, and I don't think many would be going on the softs. I think hard, mediums in any permutation order can be the strategy here.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes. So here we go, and 5 more seconds till our round 5 starts at Brands Hatch. Are we facing any issues? Because okay, Mako starts. This is weird because we have Hurry Effect being shown as first, but we are starting with Mako, who is leading this race.
Mako is already gone. I think we need to red flag and restart the race.
No, everything seems to be fine on the stream, Mister.
No, Mako is way far ahead of Duki Atma at the start itself. I think the rolling start bugged out. And the hurry effect is being shown on lap 2.
Did we have a glitch?
No, no, it's correct. Yeah, we have a glitch. We need to red flag this.
Yeah, I think we need to call this restart. It should be a restart 1 because we had a glitch, and we need to restart. We need to red flag the race right now, unfortunately. So restart 1, red flag, yes. But we will not have to configure the lobby again. The position stays the same. So once everyone is back in the grid, we will restart. No more restarts after this. We will carry on with the race. As part of our league, as part of our regulations, we decided to have one restart in case of any issues. And now, once everyone is back in the grid, we shall restart it. So we are still waiting for Duki Atma. Restart 1. Okay. Okay, the race was cancelled, so please enter everyone.
I don't think we need to change the grid order. We can start the race because everyone is being arranged properly.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for everyone to join. So yes, we have the positions as you mentioned, Mr. And so we have Askas. We should be starting 4. So I'm still waiting for them to join.
Yeah, so he is arranged in the position.
Yeah,
so everyone is in, so we can start again.
Yeah, I will. No more restarts. Just letting our participants know. Yes. This is our second attempt. Hopefully everything works fine now. Okay, we have Mr. starting P1. So Dukyatma P2, Ancient Pleb P3. Can we get a summary of points to the race? Yes, absolutely, Ashish. We will try to. So Go is starting P1, Duki is P2. We have a clean start, Misto, don't you think?
Yeah, this time there is no bug. So here we go for the race. So
So we are
Makov
Mako.
leads the grid, followed by Duki Atma. So is there a scope of attack on turn 1?
Yes.
And Duki goes on the inside. Makov goes wide. So there is definitely a chance for attack. But Makov goes defensive. Duki is persistent with the attack, going on the outside, going for a switchback, and he manages the switchback, but he's still behind. Makov is covering off the car very well. But I think there is contact, and they are side by side now for turn 4. And he dives on the inside, and Makov tries to stay on the outside, but he goes wide. Pleb capitalizes on the move, and he moves to P2. Makov, the biggest loser here, and now his position is in jeopardy by Ench. And Ench moves ahead, but he is on the outside. But so Makov can defend his position for now. So this start is not the best for Makov. So he's trying to stay with Pleb and Duki. Let's see if he can get back the position or not. Meanwhile, Ench is being persistent with the attacks.
Yeah, but we.
The top 4 has built over half a second lead over Askas, and Sammy is far behind Askas. So it's safe to say the top 5 has cut off from the group.
Yeah. So yes, as you said that, Mister. So we still do not know what tires Mako has gone on. Maybe it was the tires which were cold, and maybe he was on hards or trying to get rid of those hards. But yes, now he's pushing for P2, slightly wide there, and we shall see them fighting for this P2 soon. And maybe on turn.
Makov is dangerously close to Pleb, so Pleb would be looking at his rear mirrors more than the front of his car at this moment. So Makov can dive anywhere.
Yeah, this turn 4 is also a good overtaking place.
Of it and tries to slipstream. Maybe he will try to make a move on Pleb here.
Yeah, but overtaking on turn 5 is such a risky thing because you can go wide over here at this turn 5.
Also has it with Duki, so that's also a big issue for him.
Yes, but right now they are keeping it clean, and he must be in a lot of pressure from Uncharted Man, who is like really close. And let's see how it goes. And he goes slightly wide, so Mako seems to be a bit more uncomfortable.
We can see here.
Yes, Duki is pushing ahead.
And there is contact between Pleb and Makov.
That is unfortunate. So
Pleb is on the grass and he rejoins at P6. So he lost about 6 seconds in that collision.
Yes, that was unfortunate. But let's see what happens. We may have a report, or maybe there was some mistake. And he's being closely followed by Manu right now in P7, which moves Sammy to P5 and Eskas to P4. Those are some quite good numbers for the guys. It's nice to see Manu also in P7 right now. We have Ninjan, who is in P8, closely being followed by Ganesh. Ganesh started last, as we know. He's now moved to P9, and
the 4th position in 2 laps is a really good progress.
Yes, so we have Hari Effect in P12, and then we have Dan in 11. In 11, and in Avery he is currently at the last position. So Mako is now in P2. Ancient Pleb has dropped to P6. We will see how and what happened over there. But Enchanted Man, he's putting a lot of pressure, and we see Mako going wide over here.
Mako goes wide. This race is going from bad to worse from him after a super qualifying.
Yeah, definitely. He seems to be not so comfortable over here. He's going again. He again went wide over here, and he dropped. He lost and he's spinning. He is not finding it is in your car today, Mister, around this track.
This is not an easy track. As difficult it is to overtake here, the driving clean part is also not easy here.
Yes, and if you see now, SCAS has reduced that gap to around 1 second. So Mako should keep it clean now because Esca seems to be moving in closer and closer for that overtaking move on Mako.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ench is maintaining the gap from Duki.
And
Can
he
we
goes wide
expect him
again.
to pull closer as the stint goes on? Because I believe that his car is better on tires.
Yeah, but then uh, I'm now curious to know, Mister, what tires Mako is on. Is he struggling because of the tires,
So,
or is it like the cold tires that affected him at the start?
so I've just seen and checked the top three are on mediums. And Askas is on hards, and he's doing a stellar job keeping up with Mako and Ench on a
That
slower compound. And as the stint goes on, his pace will only improve relative to the two of them ahead.
that is really brilliant. Then we could see Askas even challenging for P1 because if he's able to keep this pace on hards, then we could expect some faster times from him on mediums. And we see Ancient Pleb here. He's trying to
Yep,
close
that
the
is
gap.
definitely a possibility. But like I analyzed earlier, I don't believe there is going to be a lot of tire delta between the hards and mediums.
Hmm, hmm.
So as we can see, also keeping up with Ench and Makov, in 4 laps he has already lost 5 seconds to Duki Atma. So maybe Ench and Makov are not up to pace yet.
Yeah, yeah, true. Uh, we see Manu in P7, Ninchan in P8. Nothing is being changed here so far. Brazilian Sam P10, followed by 10 Lot and Harry Effect, and in every completing our top 13. Brazilian Sam slightly turns over there, but he saves it fine, saves it well. So let's head back to our leaders. Mako is now closely following Uncharted Man, so he did find some pace over there. And Uncharted Man is now under pressure. Ascaz has slightly dropped to 1.6 seconds, but he should be good with those tires. What do you
But
think?
as we can see, Pleb is catching up hands over fist over Ascals. He has got almost 1 second in less than a lap.
Definitely.
So I don't think the medium tires and hard tires delta is less. I just think Makov and Ench needs to find that extra half a second over the lap because they're still losing a lot of time to Atma.
Yes. Duki Atma is.
And
Uh,
as we can see, there is a scope of move between Makov and Ench. Can we stick with them?
Yes, we are with them, Mr. We saw Mako trying for a move there, but it's so difficult to overtake. There are only a few places, and you need to be brave to overtake. Mako goes slightly wide over there, but is the move coming? Is the move coming in this next set of turns? Turn 2, turn
Oh
3.
no, I think he's sliding. He got dirty tires from going too wide at that corner.
Yes, and that is how complex this track is. If you go wide, then you will get dirty tries, and then you'll have to struggle, and you'll be struggling again. We see him exiting turn 4 now, but I guess this will take him a while to overtake because, as we know, this is a difficult track to overtake. And he's moving into P5. He turn 5, but he's still sticking behind Enchanted Man. Ascaz, and we have Ancient Pleb, who is now only 3 seconds behind, and he's catching up to the pack. He must be putting those trials in a lot of stress, right? He must be on mediums and burning out those trials. What information do you have for us, Mister? How are those trials looking for Ancient Pleb?
For ancient plebs, the tire here isn't too bad. It's almost on the same level as Makov and Ench. But oh, we see Ench going wide and Makov makes a move.
Mako makes a move. He moves into P2.
Yeah, so as we can see, Makov and Duki are on a FR drivetrain car. So FR stands for front engine rear wheel drive car. So because most of the weight lies on the front, the stress on the front tire is more compared to the rear. So Duki and Makov are facing more front wear. Meanwhile, Ench and Pleb, who are on an MR car, are facing more rear tire wear.
Yeah, and we see Enchanted Man under pressure there. He got those dirty
So
tires. Yeah, and Ascaz
yeah,
is moving into
now
P3 now.
Askas is making a move with a slower compound of tire, and he
Yes.
makes the move stick.
Yes, and he moves into P3 with those hard tires. And as you said, Mister, it seems like the mediums and hards are working somewhat with less delta. and he moved into P3 with Enchanted Man now in P4 and Ancient Flap just 1.5 seconds behind both of them, and he is looking good for a P3.
Yep. But the thing is, Aska still lost 7 seconds in almost less than 7 laps. So the delta still seems to be close to 1 second if there is not much raw gap between the pace of Askas and Duki.
Yeah, that is true. But what about Mako? Do we see him catching Duki? Because he is still struggling. It seems like he's still struggling on this track, maybe because of the tires, but he's about 4 seconds away from Duki Atma. Meanwhile, the gap to Askas has also come down. Askas is now 2.7, and that time seems to be coming down. So we could see them bunching up, and maybe Ancient Pleb will also be joining them soon. Oh,
No, Pleb is losing time.
it seems he went
So
wide.
last lap, Pleb made a mistake. He was doing 124, high 124s and low 125s, but the last lap was almost 129 with a 128.9.
Yes, and he's being closely followed by Sammy now. So he did make a mistake, and he is. Did he use up all of his tires? Because he seemed to be slow coming around those two
I
sectors.
believe that 10 laps is not going to be difficult for the medium, so his tires are still looking in a pretty good condition.
And we see
I mean,
some.
they are worn, but not to the point of being undrivable.
We see some action over here as well. So we see Ninjan and Ganesh being Ganesh in a chase. So and his 0.3 of a second behind him. So he may be thinking of a move over here. Let's see.
But you can see that Ganesh made the fourth position that he did in just the first couple of laps, but
Yeah.
now he is stuck behind Ningen.
Yeah,
But
Ninjan
as we
is
see
slightly
the
wide.
commentator skirts taking place, Ningen loses the position after going into the grass. I'm sorry, my friend.
That-
Now Ganesh's next target is Manu in
Yeah.
the Audi R8. So
Uh,
I believe Audi should be struggling with the tires, especially on the rear left, because Audi is not really good with the rear tires.
we will
But
go back
Manu
to
is on
them.
hard, so his tires should be fine.
We will go back to them, but here, Enchanted Man and Askas, they are fighting it hard over here. And will to wheel action, and Enchanted Man makes the same move which Askas made the last lap, and he gets that P3 for now. He secures the P3. But these guys are in for a battle for this most of this track, I guess. Most of these laps.
Meanwhile, the gap between Duki and Makov has stabilized to almost 4 seconds. So
Yes.
this is turning out to be interesting between the top two. What
Yes.
will happen in the next stint? Will Makov be able to continue the pace he found?
Yes. But
Or is Duki losing time?
Yeah, Duki seems to have made. Oh, Mako is setting purple sectors now. So we shall see some action between these guys soon.
Meanwhile, Duki made a mistake, 1.5 seconds in the second last sector.
Yes, indeed, indeed. The gap has reduced down to just 2 seconds, and Mako seems to be getting closer and closer. Can we
And he
see?
gets the fastest lap.
Yes, indeed. Okay, we see
He's flying
Askas
right
dropping
now.
into the pits right now. Askas has just dropped into the pits right now. Sammy as well. So we see the hard runners jumping into the pits. Yes, Ganesh and Manu. Ganesh is moving in close to make a move. But then we do see the strategists coming into play now. The hard runners have jumped into the pits.
So 9 laps on hard stars feels a very odd number to me, because 8, 11, 11 could have been a strategy, but what would they work with 9?
No, but not to forget, Mr. The weather seems to be cloudy. I believe the mediums could survive a bit longer in the second half of the race, maybe with lesser fuel, if they could finish in lesser fuel, if they are burning up less fuel.
Yeah, that is a possibility. So the
So,
gap between Makov and Duki is less than 1.5 seconds, well within the slipstream range. But slipstream is a double-edged sword. Makov is now facing the dirty air of Duki Atma. But he's still getting closer, within a second now.
we saw Duki Atma there going slightly wide, and yes, the pressure is getting up to him. It seems like Mako is now within a second, and we could see a move coming up soon. And we see
Inch ran out of fuel, only left, and he's in pits now. So 10 laps on mediums. I could have expected him to go for an 11th, but the fuel was enough for him.
yeah. And we do know in last race where unfortunately he ran out of fuel, but then hopefully he's not taking such gambles again. The gap is slightly stable at around 1 second, but then we could see these two guys jumping into the pits soon, Mister.
Yep, I think this lap or maybe this lap followed by the next lap should be their final 2 laps on this stint.
Yes, and they have put a gap of around 12 seconds. We have Brazilian Sam in P4 right now. He was about P10. Obviously, he must have not went to the pits yet. But what strategy is he on? Because he made a jump on many of our drivers. So that would be interesting to see where he ends up.
Essentially, Brazilian Sam looks like a whole pit stop behind the top two. So, but he has yet to pit because he is running on fumes. So I don't think his race is going the way he wanted it to.
Yes. So Duki Atma and Mako has jumped to the pits. What does Plab intend to do? And he jumps into the pits
Pleb
as
also
well.
jumps into the pits.
Do we
So
have
11 laps seem to be the life of the tires.
yes, and Brazilian Sam also struggling there. Escaz and Brazilian Sam, he has the right for that corner. And Escaz, will he make a move? Will he make a move at this
Being
time?
on the outside here is very dangerous unless he makes a switch back before the apex. No, he fails to do that.
Oh,
Brazilian Sam was trying to go into the pits and Askas pushes him. Will
yeah.
he get a penalty for being too wide on the entry? Let's see.
Let's see indeed, because this is like a tricky corner, and we could investigate that after the race. So Ancient
So
Plab,
Mako went on to hearts. So he's trying a different strategy. The strategy has diverged. So Mako must have felt that he was being held back by Duki Atma. So he wants to go into the hearts and get the slow tire out of the way so that he isn't impeded by Duki Atma.
yes, and
While he can impede Duki on the other hand.
so we see now all of these four guys bunched up together, and I guess Brazilian Sam actually made like helped Ancient Plab to keep that P3, because he would have just dropped behind Escaz and Enchanted Man. So his undercut worked fine, and all of these guys are within a gap of around 1 second of
Meanwhile,
another.
Brazilian Sam got a 3 second penalty because of that entry.
Yeah,
But
but
even though he did something good for Pleb, he is not getting rewarded for it.
yeah, I guess he slightly went wide over there when entering the pits, and that must have compromised his entry. But yes, we have Ganesh also in P7 chasing Sammy, Uncharted Man in P5, Escas in P4, and Plab. We are like really close, and we could see some racing between these two guys. And Escas probably must be on mediums right now, if I am correct.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct. But Pleb is also on the same tire, so the delta is going to be difficult to overcome because both have the almost similar amount of grip around the corner. So you can't brake too late, you can't just dive bomb them.
And
But
Ancient Plab goes
Ancient Pleb
wide.
goes way too outside on the track and he has dirty tire. And
And
Askas makes the move.
yes,
Pleb gets a penalty. So this was a disaster for him. Now Ainge might also capitalize on that mistake.
yeah, Inch also got a 5 second. And look at Sammy overtake him at turn 4. And he's
So
making a move.
Sammy is going to be the while Pleb being the biggest.
Yes, that could actually help Sammy move into P4.
Meanwhile, as we can see, because the tire differential, Duki is catching Mako, but the speed of catching is not that much. So the hearts on a lesser fuel tank is still competitive against the mediums. As we can see from the lap times, Mako did a 125.3 while Duki also 125. So 0.3 second is not too much. Mako goes into the grass.
Did
So he
Mako?
must have dirty tires for the next few turns. So this is going to be crucial for Duki. Can he make the pass before the tires become thin and he gets a competitive pace against those mediums?
He goes wide again. Dukyatma moving in closer and closer. There is action everywhere, and it's really difficult to focus on one particular racer over here. So Sammy, Ancient Plab, they are in a close battle as well, followed by Uncharted Man. Ganesh is making up for that issue in qualifying. He's 11 seconds behind. Manu is P8. He is followed by Lord Dan at 3 seconds, at 4 seconds. Hurry Effect completing that P10. In every he's moved to P5, followed by Brazilian Sam and P11, thank you, and then Brazilian Sam and Ninja in P13. Obviously, they need to change and update their strategies as the race progresses. Dukhyatma is 0.5
is
seconds.
not having a good race because we can see his time is not really good. He's doing 129 and 130. So, what do you reckon? Did he not get enough time to practice while he
No,
was
I guess we are not exactly sure about that, Mister. It's probably because of the tires or some other strategies that he's trying to employ. We could still see what happens at we as we reach like 70 or 80% of the race. Meanwhile, Duki Atma over here and Mako, do we see a move coming from Duki Atma soon? Mako goes slightly wide over
He
there.
should make the move as soon as he can because the more he behind Makov, the more time he is hemorrhaging because Makov is on the slower pound here.
Okay, we could
So
see
he's
a
trying to
move.
attack any chance he gets. See how sharply he's taking the corners just to get the inside line and attack Makov.
Yes, we could be seeing a move soon over here, and the gap is
Meanwhile,
zero point
Pleb
0.7.
and Askas is also fighting. Pleb are getting purple sector.
Yeah, Pleb and Askas. We are seeing Sammy has dropped down slightly. So is Enchanted Man and Ancient Pleb and Askas. And then we have another battle over here between Duki, Atma, and Mako. Mako still is kind of struggling, and he lost a couple of seconds over there. The gap has now moved to 0.5 of a second.
So ideally, Makov would like to keep him behind for the entire stint. So that when the mediums are in working condition, Duki cannot use it. And when the mediums are slow, Makov can use his own pads to build the gap.
Yes, but do not forget, Mr. What strategy Duki is planning. He could be saving fuel as well, because then he will have to fuel for less. And we know that the low refilling rate could be an issue as well. So we still do not know how the strategies are going to unfold. So we need to see, and I'm also quite excited to see how that strategy unfolds for them at the end of this, as we enter the last stages of this race. And we see it is getting slightly cloudy over here. So we could see a cloudy race. We will just explore the rest of the.
Oh, I believe the clouds should help in reducing the temperature of the track, and meanwhile the day is also progressing. And as we see the sun going down, the track is going to get cooler and cooler, and the last longer, and the delta between the mediums and hards will increase as well.
Yes. So we see Ancient Pleb and Askas are locked in a battle over here, and Sammy is also trying to catch them. Ganesh has moved to P7. I think we should just go through the other racers
Askas
also.
made a mistake, but I don't think Pleb would be able to make a move here.
Yes, it is really difficult over some of the corners over here. So we see Dan and Manu and Brazilian Sam, they are locked in a battle right now. We could see a move coming over here, followed by Inavri. He is currently running P12, followed closely by Ninjan. So there is still a chance that we could be seeing a battle for the last position. The strategies are yet to unfold. Hurry Effect, a good race from him. He is currently P8. And let's go back to our leaders. What is happening here? So we see Ancient Plab.
Makov is still ahead. And Duki is very desperately trying to attack, going inside, going wide, but nothing is working for him.
Yes. As we know, a difficult track again to overtake, but these guys are like 10 seconds ahead of Askas and Ancient Plab. So Ancient Plab still finding it difficult to make a move. Obviously, Askas is trying to his best to block him making a move.
is exactly what I was saying. Making a pass here is going to be really difficult. So you have to play with the strategies, making undercuts, overcuts, stalling the guy behind you so you can have a better pit stop strategy. But Askas goes wide again, and this time all four tires, so he'll definitely have dirty tires.
And that exit compromised Ancient Lab's move, but he's really close this time. Maybe we could be seeing a move coming on turn 1 or turn 2 over
I
here.
think there is definitely on turn 1 if Askas doesn't defend, but he defends it.
Let's see what happens at turn 2. Askas goes slightly wide over here.
So
Ancient
Pleb
Lab
is
has a
trying
good
for a
chance.
faster exit so that he can attack, but he still fails to do that. And Dukhi Atma has made the move on Mako.
Tuki Atma makes a move at turn 3. Mako still slightly struggling over here, but good exit for him at turn 4. And if you see, the gap is coming down, so but still turn 5 is like a really difficult place to make a move. So let's stick with Mako for a
Yeah,
while.
and thinking that Mako is on the compounds, making a move is that much more difficult for him.
Yes, indeed. So turn 5, turn 6, we are heading on turn 7, and we could cut this corner slightly, but he lost a couple of
Dukhi is
tenths over
already
there.
building a gap slowly, but
Yes, and that gap has now gone up to a second with SCAS following him, and that time is coming down below 10 seconds. So we could see SCAS also coming into play for that P2. Meanwhile, Ancient Plab is following SCAS. We are heading into a nice
I
evening right
think this
now.
time Pleb can make a move,
Yeah, let's
but
stick with
still
them for a
looks
while.
very unlikely at turn 1 because it's a really difficult place to over.
The best move, Mister, for me is turn 2. You need to have a good exit and then not go wide like that,
But
but
both of them go wide.
yeah, ever so close, but still difficult to make a move. Sammy has moved down to it's moved 4 seconds behind Pleb.
Meanwhile, Makov is setting fastest sectors, and he's definitely going to attack Dukhi here.
Yes, let's go back to them. I'm as excited as you are. Mako makes that move on turn 5. That is really brave. That is really brave.
But I think he can make no friends.
He was thinking of a move at turn 6 as well. That was
Yeah, actually, that was his entire strategy, I believe.
turn 6 is a difficult place to make a move. Turn 7, everything is okay over here. We are heading into the turn 8, the Sterling's corner. Then, and he goes slightly wide.
I believe he can come back to the pits here and try for an undercut on Dukhi.
Yes,
I
but
think he's doing just that.
are you sure, Mister, he's not listening to you on comms?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, so he has about 7% of fuel remaining, so he will be going in for
Askas also comes in, and so does Pleb.
Yeah, all of them jumped in to make the final pit stop. So is Sammy. Duki Atma staying out for a while. What do you think, Mister? Would you consider staying out for a few more laps and going on softs, perhaps? Would that work?
The soft dropped off way too fast because soft on almost dead conditions are slower than the hards. So the softs can only work for you for 3 laps, and over 6 laps, I believe the mediums should be much faster than the softs.
Mm-hmm.
So using the softs is really impractical for the race conditions.
Yes. But what happened here? We see Ganesh following Enchanted Man. He is just 3 seconds away. Just letting our viewers know he started the race dead last. And now he's about 3 seconds behind Enchanted Man. So he could be looking for a good finish at the end of this race, somewhere around
But he is
P5.
off in terms of strategy. I believe he's going to lose 30 seconds. So he should be at P9 provisionally.
Yes, but both of these guys, and Ancient Pleb has moved up. He was able to find some pace and he jumped Escaz over there. So
I believe Pleb refueled a bit less to just overtake Askas.
yes, and all that experience coming into play. So he was able to jump Escaz and to P5, and these guys will be battling it out till the end of the race. But I'm now curious, Mr. What tires is Ancient Plab on? Did he already complete his racing hards? Did he already use
No,
it?
he's currently on racing hards. So him catching up to Mako and Duki seems to be a tall order at this point.
So we see Enchanted Man jumping into the pits. He will be coming behind these guys, and we could see Ganesh also jumping into the pit zone. So it would be quite interesting to see if he can jump Enchanted Man. But here as well, we are seeing a battle between Ancient Plab and Askas. Ancient Plab is on hards, and Askas, I suppose, is on mediums. So these
I
guys,
think Aska's first stint was on hard, so his stint on hards. So he should be on mediums, I believe. Yes, he made the move.
yes, he made it indeed, and he is now P4, followed by Ancient Plab and then Semi. So
Meanwhile, Makov is getting closer and closer to Ganesh, so I think he wouldn't want that. What he did to Duki is coming back to him.
So what is the gap right now? It is 30 seconds. Maybe Ganesh staying in P2 is really going to compromise his race for Mako. Duki could still come out in front of
I
Mako.
believe Ganesh would be pitting this lap because his fuel looks very bad. Like he should not have even a single lap of fuel left. He's
Yeah,
already flashing the indicator that he'll be pitting.
that is smart. So now Mako at least knows that he is entering the pits, and yes, we shall see where he ends up. Can he jump Enchanted Man? Because this would be his overcut. So we shall see what happens over there. And now Mako is
That
free
was
to go
indeed an
for.
overcut, and I believe he needs to refuel. But the issue is also the fact that he was on a slower tire, mediums.
Yes. So we see Mako now catching Duki Atma. So Duki Atma still has to jump into the pits, and he needs to manage his tire
And
and fuel.
Ench has retained his position. Ganesh is still
No,
considerably behind him, almost 4 seconds.
yeah, yes, indeed, you're right. So 4 seconds on a slightly fresher tires. Brazilian Sam has moved to P8. Lord Dan P9. Manu P10. Hari Effect in every and Ninjin completing our set of drivers today. So let us head back. And Duki Atma is now moving into the pits. Now I'm really curious to see what happens here. Will Mako make a jump? Will that
That
overcut
was
work?
really perfect on fuel, zero. I
Absolutely.
believe he needs over almost 80 liters, maybe less, 75.
Yes, but this seems
So
really
this
close.
is going to be in favor for now, but he'll be on the. No, I think he's going for 80 liters.
And Mako
And
takes the
Markov
lead.
makes the pass. No, that's disastrous for Duki. He needed to keep him behind him.
Yes, and I guess Duki Atma is now on hards, and he will unfortunately be a bit slow on this tires. So
Yes, so I think Mako, what he should be trying is to like make enough gap so that even if he get penalties for the accident he caused with Leb, he doesn't lose his place.
yes, that is true. That is true indeed. But that, yeah, we still do not know how many seconds it would be. Thus, that penalty will be added at the end of this race. Meanwhile, SCAS, what happened here? We see Ancient Plab jump dropping to P5. So SCAS moved to P3, Sammy moved to P4. Was there another incident over here?
I don't think he's not competitive on the hard tires. He's wasting time everywhere. He was doing a stellar job on the medium, but he doesn't have the same touch on the hards.
Yeah, and even the cold tires, maybe it's taking a while for him to be comfortable with those tires. And we see Enchanted Man moving ever so close. He's like 2.7, and the gap is coming down with Ganesh with 6 seconds, around 6.5 seconds. Her effect P8, Lordan at P9, and Inavri at P10, following him closely with Manu in P11. Brazilian Sam, he is P12, and we have Ninja in P13. Uh, and Mako has just left Ninja. So, uh,
And
again.
we can see Makov building a gap comfortably. So now the gap is 3 seconds. But I think Makov is not really good on fuel.
That is interesting. So, can he finish this race on the fuel that he has? Or does he have to say? He goes wide again. He goes wide again.
He needs to save. He needs to save. But with the way he's driving, it doesn't look like he's saving at all.
I hope he's looking at the commentary right now and maybe thinking of saving the fuel. But then he needs to keep it clean.
Steam siphoning while racing is really, and if he can actually pull that off, then he deserves credit for it.
But the gap has come down slightly as we were talking, and it's now 2.5 seconds. So Tuki Atma made that pass on Ninchin, and we could be seeing a battle here between Askez and Sammy for P3. Ancient Pleb is now dropped to P5, and Tuki Atma and Mako. So, and he goes slightly wide ever again. He will be losing time with those
So
dirty tires.
P1 is not looking very favorable for Makov this entire race. He has gone very wide multiple times.
Yes, and this track, as we know, is really demanding because you need to get those exits as clean as possible. So the gap has come down to 2 seconds now. It is near 2 seconds. Duki Atma must be thinking so hard that maybe he will be.
Meanwhile, Lench is really close to attacking Pleb for P5. Pleb is really struggling with the hards.
Yes, yes. Enchanted Man is looking to make that move soon, and he's like 0.6 of a second behind. Why is he not getting penalty? Who do you mean? Weekend racing.
Actually, the track limit is lenient on turn 1. So if you go on the, don't generally get a track limit penalty. So it gives you dirty tires, but it spares you the penalty.
Yes, and also the penalty is set to weak, so we are not super harsh on our drivers today. Let them race. So we see
So
Enchanted
Ench
Man.
is about to make a move on Pleb for P5. Really close between the two.
Yes. So let's stick with them for a
Let's
while.
stick with this battle. And Ench almost goes into the back of Pleb in the braking zone. He should be trying to make a move on Pleb soon, at least put him into a position where he can attack him. And he goes for the move on turn 1.
That is risky. Did he push Pleb out over there?
I don't know, that was close, but at the exit, I think Ench could have been a bit sharper on the exit.
Yes, yes. But that was an amazing move by Enchanted Man. I hope there are no reports and it was clean as it looked. Yes, Ashish Mako will get the fastest point. We do have the fastest point that gets allotted to the fastest lap, the driver with the fastest lap. So yes, but do realize this: Mako is driving as a reserve driver for Mr. Rude, who has issues with his wheel and who is here joining me for the commentary, and he will be losing 40% of those points for the team. So yes, that's about it. Sammy is behind Eskas by 1.5 seconds, and Duki Atma and Mako has now regained that lost second. So he has kept the gap to around 3 seconds now.
So Ench has made the move on Pleb and he has already pulled a 2.5 second gap. So Ench's next target should be Sammy. And I believe he's catching up to him.
Yes, so Ancient Pleb really struggling with those hard tests, and he's losing time to Ganesh as well. Could we see Ganesh making a jump for this P6? That could be interesting. And Enchanted Man and Sammy. I guess Enchanted Man lost some time over there. He's now 4.5 seconds behind. The gap is increasing between top two. Yes, indeed, Ashish. We see Mako has now
Almost
moved to about
4 second gap
seconds.
between Makov and Duki.
Yes.
So it's looking currently in the favor of Makov, but he still needs to over 3 laps, and his fuel is saying somewhat that he needs to save it. but the bigger problem is his tires. Will the tires last for 3 more laps?
This is for
Because
Makov
he's on mediums.
or Duki?
Yeah, Markov.
Hmm. He must have used a lot of his tires then. But here we are seeing this train over here. We see SCAS, then we see Sammy, and closely followed by Enchanted Man, Ninja staying out of the way there, and then Ancient Pleb in P6, followed by Ganesh. So it's like a wrong move, and you are going to lose a lot of positions over there. So Tukiyatma, and the gap has increased even more. It is now heading towards 8 seconds. I guess
So
Tukiyatma.
Duki must have made a mistake. Looking at his sector times, he is pretty slow at this point of the track. So it looks like he lost about 4 seconds.
Yes, indeed. The sector has reflected his time. He lost about 4 seconds there. But looking at the times over here, so we see Mako doing 124, 126, and an yellow flag. Someone has gone off track somewhere.
So that was Brazilian Sam. I think he has got 1.5 for barrier collision as well because front right looks damaged.
Yes, and he is struggling. So, Misto, I think the Mercedes, the AMGs are having a hard time today here at this track. If you
The
see,
build of AMG is something between the FR and the MR because of its long nose, and the engine is not exactly at the front of the car. So because of that, it's not exactly FR and not exactly MR. So it's like having the best of both worlds, but at some places it's like having the worst of both worlds.
yeah, it seems that's the case, and we see those AMGs really struggling today. That explains why we were facing issues. But then, yeah, it seems the track is not so suited for them. Let's head.
Currently looking at Makov, his fuel perfect. So I don't think he needs to save anymore. And he did a good job saving the fuel in the middle of his stint. And looking at the gap between him and Duki Atma, if he can maintain this, then I think he's looking at a safe gap, even if he gets penalized for his incident with
And
the ancient pleb.
And Mister, look at what we have here. We see Ganesh going for the fastest lap. He just switched to softs, and he calculated that perfectly fine because he is still ahead of the hurry fact, and he is going to try for that fastest lap.
Didn't that? No, I don't think that pit stop lost him a position because he only changed the tires and he didn't refuel.
Yes,
So he has enough gap with the guy behind him that he can easily pit and go for the fastest lap.
yes, and that's what he just did a quick stop, and he changed to soft. So he's going to go for that fastest lap and for that 1 point. So, but this is Mako is setting 124.1, so he is in the lower 124. So,
But the thing is, the fuel is very less compared to the start of the qualifying session. He's like a quarter tank full only. So he's going to be considerably fast than he used to be on the quali.
yes,
And considering the time of the day, the track is going to be cooler, the air is going to be cooler. The power he has under the hood is going to, his grip is going to be better as well.
yes, and that was really calculated well and a smart move. And we will be looking at his sector times. Let's just go through the participants, our drivers today. So Enchanted Man at P5, Sammy P4, Askas, Duki, Atma, and Mako. The cap is stable at 10 seconds. We see Ninja jumping into the pits again. Brazilian Sam in P12, Manu in P11, Dan in P10. In every making that move on 10 lot.
Ninja is not leaving the pits. I think he has given up on this any points for this race.
Yeah, but let's just stick with Ganesh for a while. And what sector time is he doing? He is purple by 0.2 of a second, by 2 tenths. So we shall see him probably getting that fastest lap, but hopefully if it.
So if he doesn't make a mistake, I think he's going to get one extra point for this 310. So he's increasing the gap.
But what a brilliant race by Makov. He has taken P1.
Makov completed the race and has a 10-second gap over Duki.
Yes, and he just won the race.
Comfortable lead.
And we see Eskaz now coming into P3, and he takes up that final podium position in front of Sammy, who makes it P4, Enchanted Man P5. Ancient Plab, he is now in P6. Brilliant race, but unfortunately, because of the hearts, he just lost some time. And let's see where Ganesh ends up. Let's see, is he able to get that
So
fastest lap?
Ganesh seems like he can do a 23 in this lap, and he does that.
He takes the fastest lap.
He
And
gets the fastest lap.
oh, we have some collision, some action over here. Something went wrong. So in every now moves into P8, followed by Danlord. Danlord is chasing in every. He's fighting for that final position. So will he be making a move? He does make a move, but he has that 0.5 second of a penalty.
Because of the track, probably lost a lot of power on the exit.
Yes. And in every finishes P8, P9 for Danlord. Manu finishes P10.
So we'll need to see what happened. Maybe some incident reports will fly in our way.
Yes.
So let's see what the final result will be.
Yeah, and Hari effect going super slow
So
there.
Hari is out of fuel. Although he is out of fuel, would have lost out to Brazilian, but because Brazilian was behind one lap, he did to compete with the Hari effect for the 11th place on the last lap because Brazilian couldn't even start his last lap.
Yeah, that is true. But then, unfortunate for Hari effect, we do not know what happened there. But
He has run completely out of fuel. I think he miscalculated or he forgot.
yeah, but yeah, indeed, it's a big shame because he was running into P6, P7 at the time, and he is now out of points. But yes, a brilliant race by Markov, who has taken the win of this race. Duki Atma is at P2, Askaz finishing, getting that magnificent P3, Sammy at P4, Enchanted Man P5, Ancient Lap P6, Ganesh with the fastest lap again at P7, in Avery in P8, Lord Dan in P9, and Manu completing the top 10. We'll be getting all the points. Hari Effect finishing P11, then we have Brazilian Sam in P12, and then Ninjan in P13. That was an amazing race. What do you think, all the participants? Do let us know your views, and do feel free to like and subscribe to our channel. So, Mister, what do you make of this race?
So unlike the last race, which was very much the weather dependent, as we saw in both quali and the race, this time it was full of very dangerous overtaking opportunities, people making mistakes and losing position. And we saw a very good racecraft from Makov, keeping Duki Atma behind him in a second stint by going on the slower tires and then going on the faster tires and capitalizing on all the lead he has built. So it was a really good display of racecraft from few people, as we can also see from Ganesh taking the fastest lap because he had enough gap behind him. Meanwhile, Pleb lost a lot of position on track. As we also saw, he wasn't also very comfortable on the hard tires. So there were some good moments for a lot of drivers, and some drivers suffered either in tires or fuel. They didn't have enough pace on the harder compounds. So this was a very vibrant race, you can say, because saw a lot of different colors for a lot of different drivers this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see 13 drivers today. Unfortunately, there's no Pagal Raja. But this was the last of our dry races. We are heading into Austria for our next race. And that is going to be a wet race again, probably a wet race. Um, so,
So could we see a repeat of what we saw in Nations Cup? I'm sorry, in manufacturers in round 2.
Let's see. Fingers crossed. That would be really exciting. I'm excited as well because the weather it's still unpredictable, and letting our viewers know that the weather is not informed in advance to any of our drivers, and they will be coming to know that only during the race, 15 minutes before the qualifying starts. So, yes, exciting times indeed. So, Mr., any final comments?
Yeah, thanks everyone for coming and watching our stream. Let's see you on our next event date. As few of you asked, we'll try to formalize a points table and we'll try to let you go through the points table and we'll how we have awarded the points to all the racers. We'll try to add the link in the description of the videos.
Yes, definitely.
So thank you. That's all from my side. Over to you, Vedant.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Thank you again for joining me today for this exciting race. The points will be shared soon. Yes, we will be splitting it between the teams and the drivers, and we will add it to the description or in also in our personal group. And we hope to see you all soon for the next race, which will be coming up. We will be sharing it as well in the description. We will be in the round 6 at Austria, and then two more races to go in this particular season. So we see you soon. Stay tuned, and we'll keep getting you such cool, exciting races. Goodbye for now.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.